Welcome to Elks 101. Another episode of Elks Central, breaking this one down.
Reagan, touchdown Edmonton! Fajardo, Dunbar, back on top go the Elks!
Okay, welcome in. Elks Central, February 27th. Declan and Rick here with you on this one. No Eddie. We think he went on his Mexican vacation, or he's just a nice little staycation here in the city. Don't know.
Flights are moving. I think he's down there.
Where was he going? Was it Cancun?
I think he was going to Mexico. No, I think it was Cancun.
Because Cancun, again, you know, I'm not like the most geopolitical guy in the world, but Cancun was like, it was a safe zone, all things considered, right?
Yeah, I mean,
cheaper
it was
flights,
Puerto
but it was
Vallarta
still...
that was the issue, but...
Okay, so yeah, we're going to assume Eddie's down there and he's thriving, getting some sun, enjoying time with the family. But we are going to be joined right off the hop by OJ Hilaire, former Elks Central Raider, former Alabama A&M Bulldog, former Bowling Green Falcon, former Atlanta Falcon, former Hamilton Tiger Cat, current and hopefully future Edmonton Elk. OJ, man, appreciate you joining me. How are you, man?
I'm good, man. I'm blessed. Appreciate you guys having me, man. Thank you. Very grateful for the opportunity. Man. Thank you.
No, it's a huge treat for us. So I want to ask, so growing up in Belgrade, I don't know much about it. I know it has like a really rich football tradition. We'll get into that as well. Mm-hmm. I think it's called Muck City. I think I read that. But growing up there, like what was it like in Belgrade? Because I also saw on your Instagram when you got your degree from Bowling Green, the caption was something along the lines of like, anyone can make it out the ghetto. I'm living proof. Like, was it a tough place growing up? Was the mindset
Definitely.
Like, I got to get out the mud?
Definitely a tough place growing up, man. Growing up in Belgrade, most people usually work agricultural work, which is like field work, cornfields, cane fields. Especially like for me, my background, my parents was immigrants, so coming from Haiti originally, so you know they had to get in where they can, which was like agricultural work, because nobody wanted to do that work. You got to be in the sun, you know, sun up to sundown. After that, just growing up, it's rough. Most people either play sports or you run in the streets. Honestly, you know, obviously we got some guys, you know, some people, period, that you know had good grades and stuff like that, but for the majority, about 80% is either you're playing sports or you run in the street. So it definitely was tough. You know, you grow up losing friends early. You know what death was early on. So you kind of figured out, whoa, like this is real, you know, like you could die out here. So, you know, you want to try to make a difference. If you have any aspirations, you got to lock in. So definitely that caption was, I made it out that gutter. So, you know, I'm living proof. I just, you know, for me, I just like to give the kids, like I come from where you come from. You know, my parents were immigrants, no education, you know, found the way, made a way. And for me to be able to graduate college, you know, that's a big milestone. And if I can do it, then anybody can do it, honestly. So definitely it was rough coming out of that mud for sure.
When you talk about kind of, you know, your accomplishments, your life, your achievements, like, do you put getting that, because I assume you were first in your family to get a college degree?
I'm not. My older brothers, I have two older brothers. Okay. They both got degrees for sure. They both got degrees. But I do put that degree out there because, you know, growing up, my mom used to always tell me, like, we working in the fields, man. If you don't want to work in the fields, you got to go get an education. Because for them, the reason that they was in the fields is because, you know, coming from a different country with no education, that's the only job you kind of can get unless you want to go work, you know, fast food or something like that, which they wasn't really into. So she was just always tell me or tell us, all of us, hey, you got to get good grades. You know, you got to go to school. That's the only way you're not going to be in the field. So for us, we always took school serious because we didn't want to work in the field. Obviously, like watching my mom have to get up 4 a.m., go work in the fields from 5 to 5, you know, South Florida sun or South Georgia sun, or we've even been to New Jersey to pick blueberries. Like, you know, just following the work, honestly. And that just wasn't what we wanted. Plus, we had an advantage, right? Like, we have an education. We go to school for free. So, like, why not be better? And, you know, they always just pushed us to be better than them. So, in all aspects. So, definitely.
It's heavy stuff, man, because I think a lot of times with, you know, professional athletes, people see the product on the field. And a lot of times people might not, you know, tap in deeper than that. And they don't like look into kind of the history of what some of these, you know, what some of you guys had to go through and things like that. So like you said, like knowing all that background, like it's really heavy and stuff. And with the Elks Central background, like some of the guys who went there, like Kelvin Benjamin, Santonio Holmes, Fred Taylor, I mean, he was a running back, but like knowing these guys all came before you, did you feel like kind of a pressure that I need to be the next guy? Did you look up to them? Like, what was that kind of like?
It wasn't a pressure. Definitely looked up to them. It was more of a motivation. I wouldn't take it as pressure, but also pressure is a privilege, you know? So it's like, hey, people used to always tell us, man, y'all ain't nothing like the old Muck. Y'all ain't nothing like the old Elks Central. So we used to be like, man, we got to show y'all, you know what I'm saying? It was just more of a prove the doubters wrong. And like my class was a pretty good class, but Deontay Thompson's one of the names that played receiver, and we also from the same neighborhood. I also like work out with him in the off seasons, things like that. So always was just like a motivation. Again, remember I said I graduated from college. I want to motivate the young kids. They can do it too. It was the same thing. Like I seen those guys make it to the NFL, make it to the, the top 1%, play good
Yeah.
football, be great. So it was just a motivation. If they can do it, I can do it. It really just made me believe in myself even more.
Do you remember like kind of having a moment when you were younger, like maybe it was kind of that realization or like just a very real moment for you as a young kid, being like, man, like if I like football might be the way out of like school, of course, school's important. And I do think that's a really important element because being a pro athlete is the 0.01% of people who play.
Yep.
So school should be first and foremost for any young
For sure.
high school athlete, whatever it may be. But did you have a moment being like, man, like I really got to make it as an athlete to get out of here?
Yes. So also from the muck, not just the muck is made of pokey as well. So Anquan Bolden is from pokey. Anquan Bolden, like Hall of Fame guy. You got Janoris Jenkins. You got all of these guys. So like
Yeah.
seeing these guys like Anquan Bolden, he gives 10,000 every year to Glade Central and Polk High School for scholarship. Like just seeing those things, seeing pull up in a Rolls Royce. It wasn't just materialistic, but it was just like I can really live a different life. Like I can really change my family's life. I can really provide, and be the guy that, retire moms and things like that. So that's when I was like, man, I really want to do this like football. I want to make it with football. This is how I want to make it. Like, yes, you can go to school, get a good job, engineering and things like that. But I felt like God blessed me with a talent, with a skill that, that I could take really far. So that's when it was. Also, just playing football as a younger kid in the backyard. We played football all day, every day. South Florida sun, so it's never really cold. So we was outside all year. So I was always the first pick. Anybody can tell you that knew me as a kid. I was always the kid they're gonna pick first, no matter how small I was, no matter what the age group who was playing. I was always picked first. So I kind of knew, that I had the skill or the talent to like, I'm different. Honestly, I'm different. So like definitely like just growing up, just seeing those guys, they motivated us. They showing us, there's a different way of living. Like there's levels to it. So, just gotta work hard, outwork everybody. That's the thing we go by. That's like a brand out there. One of my guys, Flip, he made a brand. So he was like one of my sponsors. Honestly, I made a brand, a logo, and I used his thing, outwork everybody. You owe it to yourself, OWE. So that's just something that we go by, man, like from where we from, honestly.
Yeah, so I was going to ask you about that later. I'll do it now really quickly because I did, I saw the link in your Instagram bio, clicked onto it, obviously. I saw the freshman cipher you guys had.
Yeah.
With those girls, like, first of all, was that like a double XL thing? You're like, we're going to take what they do. And then like, what are they doing? Cause like they all had kind of city girls vibe to them. Like the flow was kind of like that. Like, what are they up to now? Are they still rapping and stuff?
So I'm not sure if they're rapping, honestly. So like that brand, I told you the guy Flip, that's his brand. So he does it all. He does the clothing, he does the music, he does it all. So that's basically what it was, like a double XL thing. It was just like from where we from, a lot of people, women not respected in the rap game. So he wanted to just give them a voice, be able to give them the voice, give them a chance to show their talents. So that's really what it was, honestly. But that outwork everybody thing, I really have nothing to do with the music part. It's just honestly, like I said, we just taking it to everything we do in all life aspects. Outwork everybody if you're doing music, if you're playing sports, whatever the case may be. So that's just what it was for sure.
Like growing up, with the Florida rap scene, like were you listening to a lot of like Kodak and
Definitely.
like YNW Melly and stuff like that?
Kodak my favorite rapper. I don't listen to rap music as much anymore, but definitely Kodak was my favorite rapper growing up. A little biased, obviously being from Florida. Melly, like you said, you got Rod Wave, Rick Ross, OGs like that.
Denzel Curry, he's from Florida as
Yeah,
well.
you got Plies, you got a lot of people, man. Like honestly, so yeah, I was big on the rap game, but Kodak was definitely my favorite rapper growing up.
All right, I jumping back to the Muck Bowl, right? That was between Glade Central and Poke.
Yep, Glade Central and Poke.
So I was reading those games where you could get up to like maybe 25K. So just like playing in that environment, as a high school athlete, like knowing how high pressure it was, knowing how much attention was on it. What were the games like? But also kind of how did it prepare you for going on to play in, college and then pro ball?
What was the games like? again, it's a rivalry, right? So you know how rivalries are. Like again, Edmonton versus Calgary. So that atmosphere, of course, that's a rivalry game. Not only that, but we like to believe we had the best football players in the nation. Honestly, like you named the guys that was coming from there. My city's population is only like 17,000. Pokey's population is only like 5,000. But if you go through the names that made it to the NFL, it's so much as far as just population to player. We probably was the best in the country at one time. So it's just like you playing the best football. You playing against the best competition. And it's a rivalry game. So what more can you ask? Not only that, but it's 15, 20,000 people at the game. Like, you got to show up. You got to show up. So that alone, taught you to just play on big stages. Honestly, like, never was really nervous when it's time to play on a big stage because I've been doing it since a kid. I've been doing it since high school.
Yeah.
Like, this is nothing to me, right? So just playing on big stages. Not only that, but I always felt like coming from where I'm from, I played against the best talent as well. So it's like, it's a big stage, then I'm playing against the best talent. And if I'm showing up here and I'm making plays here, I can do it anywhere. That was always our thought process. So like for me, I moved out of Belgrade in 10th grade, but I drove to school 45 minutes, 50 minutes every day, just so I can be able to play in that game by the time like I was a senior, I was a junior, just so I can be able to experience that. Growing up as a kid, like getting the muck bowl, seeing these guys show up. Like I said, it was one year Janoris Jenkins had to guard Deontay Thompson and Travis Benjamin. And you know what I'm saying? That's one game. You got 3 5-stars in one game. Like, what more can you ask for? So, and then not only that, the whole week on Facebook, on social media, the city's like, hey, you know what time it is. We hate the Devils. We hate Pokey. Like, nobody from Pokey say nothing to me. And then it's like, also, the fans on Facebook, like, oh, I like such and such for this much touchdowns, and it's so like people believe in you, so you gotta show up. But like, there's nothing like it, honestly. Like as far as high school rivalries, there's nothing like it. I love it.
Yeah. Well, it's funny. Like you bring up the talent level in Florida, and I think when you kind of hear of like the recruiting basis for the country, like California, just because of their population size, they got one. But it's funny. Like USC should have a team full of 5-stars every year.
Definitely.
And, haven't really. Texas is another one, like A&M and UT. They should they both have crazy recruiting.
Georgia.
Do you think Georgia is another one now? Yeah, like Athens, you can look outside the back door there, and Coach Smart, like he's got however many 5-stars who can go play in the front seven.
Louisiana is another one.
The LSU, absolutely. I mean, Lane, like he walked in the door and he had the number one O-tackle and right?
Yeah.
But do you think like Florida, do you think that is the best state for young up and coming talent?
I think so. And the reason, like I said, it could be we at an advantage because we get to play football year round. There's no, winter storms where we can't be outside. That's why too you don't see much basketball players come from Florida because we outside year round. We not in the gym, like we outside, man, playing football. So it's sunny, we outside. It might be a little bit rainy. Like the coldest it get, this winter it just got a little cold, but the coldest get like 30. That's it. So we outside, we playing football. So like you can't really compete with a guy who's outside playing football all year and you only play football in the fall, right? Like I'm gonna be better than you. Rep what I get 1,000 more reps than you in a year. So how can you be better than me? Not only that, it's just the competition. We dogs, like where we come from. Like South Florida alone. I obviously like Florida as a whole, we represent Florida, but like South Florida alone, you go Palm Beach County, Dade County, Broward County. Like those counties alone are already putting out like, you know what I'm saying? You can't even compete with that, honestly, like as a whole state. Like I remember I seen a stat like in 2021 draft, like there was 3 states that had like 20, 21, 22. South Florida alone had 17 guys drafted. Like how can you compete with that? So like definitely I am very confident in saying that Florida, has the best football. I am.
So what made you choose Alabama A&M?
Honestly, that was my only offer coming out of school. I wasn't highly recruited due to size. I was like 148 coming out of high school. So I chose what I had. And, thank God I chose it. Like it made me a man, honestly. That's why I became a man. I learned like nothing's gonna be given to you. Being an HBCU, a little bit underfunded, you can't just go in there like I need these cleats, I need that cleats, I need these gloves. Like, nah, you get what you get. And not only that, like we had to practice at 5:30 a.m. because it's not a big enough school to say, hey, everybody go to class in the afternoon. There's not enough teachers for that. You got to get in where you fit in. You got to get an 8 a.m. class. So there's been times where like I leave practice, can't even cut my tape or go shower and got to go straight to my 7 a.m. class. Like you just got to do that, right? Not even eating right. Just things like that. But again, that made me more of a dog. That made me like very grateful. When I got to a bigger school, it's like, wow, like this is amazing for me. Like I love this, like, so I won't take it for granted. So like very grateful, very thankful for it. I got to play with some great guys, some great
Yeah.
receivers, great quarterback. So it was definitely like something that I needed. Something that I
So
needed.
like when you talking about it being an HBCU and maybe being a little underfunded in the whole situation, like when you would play Jackson State, would you be kind of jealous of what they had going on with Coach Prime, or were you like, no, like this is great for HBCU, like this is great spotlight, like obviously Travis Hunter, Shador, they're both there. Was that kind of the mindset, or was it like, man, like forget about these guys, like why can't we have this?
The mindset was like, it's definitely great for HBCUs, but it's also like they got this. We need to beat them. Like I want to beat them.
Yeah,
Like, oh yeah, I beat Deion Sanders. Like I got to play against him twice.
yeah,
But it was definitely like, hey, like I'm so glad they bringing the light to HBCUs. Getting able to see the talent we have here. There's a lot of talent here, especially skill position. We can play with anybody. We can play anywhere. But I love that he brought that light to HBCUs. People got to understand, see the atmosphere. The games are amazing. Like the atmosphere of the HBCU games, I love it. The bands is another. Some people come to the game just for the bands. So like,
mm-hmm.
it was something that like I was glad that he was able to shed a light on, definitely. But also too,
Mm-hmm.
the competitor in me, like I want to beat Deion Sanders. Like I want Deion to know who I am every
Of
time we
course.
play them. So it was definitely like, again, a blessing that he came and shed the light on HBCU, shed the light on the problems as well, because he was voicing some of the things he was going through. Even I think it was Ed Reed got the job at Bethune. He was voicing
Yep.
the problems they was going through. So it was good that people got to see like what we go through at a HBCU. Like this ain't easy. Like for us to make it out and for us to try to make something of what we got. Like it isn't easy at all. And I was glad people got to see that.
Yeah, like Vic at Norfolk State as well, I guess, just, shedding some more light on
Yep.
that kind of. So what would transfer to Bowling Green? What went into that? Was it just like a chance to play FBS ball?
It was definitely that. It was so honestly, I was first team all conference, had a big year. And then like I just kind of noticed that it wasn't really much of a chance to like make it to the next level, make it to a pro.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't really a it just they didn't respect it. Like honestly, when Dion came, you kind of okay. Some people like, oh, HBCU ball got some guys and this and that, but like it wasn't really respected. Not only that, my quarterback who I played with, he was leaving, and I didn't feel like we had anybody behind him at the time that they had really prepared to take the driver's seat.
Yeah.
And I didn't want to have to wait till a guy get comfortable and become himself. And I was already going. I need somebody that can meet me there. So it was definitely a chance to play at a bigger school. I chose Bowling Green though because I felt like they showed me the most love. Like right when they gave me an offer, coach came to visit the next day. Like he didn't wait. Like he flew down the next day. Like throughout the process, I committed on my visit, but throughout the process, I had offers from like Western Kentucky, USF came, Toledo. It was other schools came, but I had already gave my word. Not only that, but he was the one who showed me like the most. Like, hey, we want you, we need you. Like he was coming. He flew down the next day, like to come meet me. Coach Leffler, he's at the Eagles right now, so that's why I chose Bowling Green for sure.
One last one on college, and we'll kind of move towards the pro journey there. But what was it like playing in the big house?
Man, the biggest stadium I ever been in as far as
Yeah. Like 100K, man.
it was
It's ridiculous.
109,000 in there. It was actually big. Crazy fact about that week was I came down with appendicitis on Tuesday. I was in hospital
No
for
way.
Yeah, I was in the hospital for 2 days. So if you know the way the week goes, Tuesday and Wednesday is really the hard days of practice.
Oh yeah.
So I missed all the practice those days. I couldn't practice at all. Then I get out of the hospital and it's like, Coach, I want to play. Like it's a chance to play in a big house. I won't get this chance again. Again, also it's a chance to play against Michigan, right? They was like,
Yeah.
was a ranked team, like top 5 team, I think at the time. So
They were number 2 at the time. Yeah.
exactly. So I had to play. Mind you, I didn't practice the whole week, man. So Coach left
Did
the
you get
big.
your appendix out? You got it taken
No,
out?
I didn't. They gave me
Okay.
antibiotics and it was okay. It went down. So I didn't have to get it taken out, thank God. But they did give me some antibiotics. They had to monitor me, overnight and stuff like that, make sure it actually worked. If the antibiotics didn't work, I would have to get it taken out. But so that happened. I played in the game. Going into the game, coach know I didn't play the whole week. So he's like, hey, first play of the game, we're gonna call a go ball. Like that's what we're
Yeah.
gonna do. We're gonna try to get you, get back into the shape. First play of the game, he called a go ball. I made the catch. But third drive or something like that, again, playing in the big house, right? So that's when they did a light show also. It was like their first time doing a light show and things like that. Third play of the game, I run a slow go, beat them bad. running slow, I'm wide open in the end zone. I lose the ball in the night the whole time. I catch it last
Oh
minute,
man.
hit the ground, and it comes out. And I was just like, dang, I can't even be mad. I didn't practice the whole week. I didn't get the reps
Yeah.
in, you know? But it was definitely
Man.
an eye opener. Like, that's why we practice. That's why you do it.
Yeah.
Like, you got to get the reps in throughout the week. That way when the game comes, you make those plays. So, but it was definitely like a great experience.
Man, so like coming to the CFL, did you have much knowledge of kind of what the league was and what you were getting into? Like, did you kind of think? Because I think sometimes this might be true of Americans. Like they just think, yeah, like the Canadian Football League. Like I'm going to go up there and dominate, and not realize what the level of ball actually is. Like, did you know much about the league? What were kind of your thoughts going into it?
So I didn't really know much detail about the league. I did know of the league because again, there were some guys from Belgrade who played in the league. William Likely played in the league. He was in Hamilton. Also, Crayvon LeBlanc played in the league. So, but I never really just knew much about the detail. I did know there were some guys who played in the NFL, who played in the league. Guys who left the CFL, went to the NFL. But I didn't know much about it. So I wasn't like, hey, I'm just gonna come up here and dominate because I didn't know much about it, right? But I did, again, me being a competitor, like, hey, I'm gonna come up here, which I felt like anywhere I go, I'm gonna come up here and I'm gonna do what I need to do, right? But I didn't know much about the league. When I came here, I was like, wow, like the rules, I was like, whoa, it was all like an eye opener. Like the game is different, but knowing the rules, like I love the game. I actually love the game. Like it's a fun game. It's actually a very fun game. And also as far as competition wise, there's great competition. Cause when I got up there to Hamilton, I remember like the next week they brought in Cam Denster, was like third round draft pick. Like
Yeah.
so I knew it was competition in the league for sure. There's a lot of big names who I heard before, like, oh, these guys up here, like, oh yeah, this, we got some ballers up here. So I did know it was ballers up here for sure.
What were kind of your first impressions like landing in Hamilton, actually, of, kind of Canada, I guess? Because I'll ask the same about Edmonton, but, like landing in Hamilton and being like, this is like, this is where I'm at now.
For Hamilton, it wasn't much different than the US for me, honestly. It wasn't much different.
Really? Okay, interesting.
It wasn't much different. Like everybody spoke English. There was no French. I never heard somebody speak French. As far as just the only difference was just the players. Like, people talk differently and things like that. But as far as like in the neighborhood and things, I'm not a guy that goes out neither. So like I like to be in the house or whatever. So like, but around the neighborhood, everything was the same. The food is different.
Yeah.
It doesn't taste as good, I would say, but it's because it's
No, I agree, man.
it's
I
cleaner
agree.
though. It's cleaner food for you.
Yeah.
It's not as much sodium, not that much sodium, not that much sugar. So it's cleaner food. Like I was having stomach problems before I came to Canada. I got to Canada, I was fine.
Interesting.
Because the food is even like the McDonald's. The McDonald's is way cleaner. Like it's
Yeah.
different. Like so it's a plus. Honestly, yeah, it might not taste as good, but it's a plus. But again, as far as like neighborhood wise, just in the community, like I don't think it was much different. People were nicer. Definitely, people were nicer. But as far as just like close to I think it was pretty like close to the U.S. as far as just living wise.
Yeah, it's like you got here and you were wondering like, hey, like where's Canes? And they're like, hey man, we don't have Canes here.
No Canes, yeah. Again, getting adapted to some of the stores. Like my favorite store in Canada now is Winners, because down here my favorite store is TJ Maxx. They basically the same thing, right? So, but just you gotta find the substitutes. They have it. It's just probably a different name, or it's just it's different. I go to Dunkin' here a lot. It's Tim Hortons, right? So exactly. So I mean, again, it's just substitutes, just being able to adapt. But it wasn't a hard time for me. I felt like I got adapted pretty quick because it wasn't much to adapt to. Honestly, it wasn't much to adapt to.
So when you come to Edmonton, like what's the kind of conversation with Ed like? If you have one, what's the conversation with Coach Killam or Coach Maximic when you get here? Like what are kind of some of those steps that went in place once you first got in Edmonton?
So I first talked to Spencer Zimmerman. Obviously we knew them from Hamilton when I was in Hamilton previously. And it was just like we actually talked every week. Every week of the season before I got up here, or let's just say week 1 through 4, I text them every week, just trying to get a shot. Then I kind of it kind of died down, Again, roster is a very important thing in Canada. Like that's like very detailed because you got to have a certain amount of Canadians, got to have a certain amount of Americans. It goes all the way down to positions, to the starters. So it was just like, hey, we don't have a spot for you, man. Things of that nature. And then eventually I get a call like, hey, come up. And I was like, I'm a person that just, I don't like to dwell on things. So I was almost like, dang, I got to find something else in life to do. So But we
Wow. Okay.
talked, and he was like, "Hey, come up here." You know, when I got up here, he was just like, "I need you to prepare as far as you're gonna be a player because you're the next man up. If somebody go down, you have to play." That was the conversation with me and Spence. Like he came and picked me up from the hotel. He was like, "I just, need you to be ready." And I just tried my best again. Somebody tell you that, you got to take it serious. Not only that, because it's a professional sport too. Like counting on you. Everybody got to do their jobs. Lo and behold, sadly, unfortunately, somebody got hurt the first week I get up there. Like literally after that, I came up like on
Yeah.
a Tuesday, played on Saturday. That Saturday, somebody got hurt, and I had to step up. And thankfully, Spence gave me a heads up, like you're next up, man. You gotta be ready. I was ready. So that's what the conversation was. Coach Killen was like, "Hey, no pressure. I know you just got up here, but just make sure you be ready." That's it. Just honestly, everybody just told me, "Hey, be a professional. Do your job. That's it. Just do your job. We're not gonna throw too much at you. We understand, the circumstances, but just make sure you do your job. Make sure whatever we do give you, you able to handle it." And that's just what it was.
Yeah, so like that first game, like obviously, as a professional athlete, you have incredible self-belief in yourself. Self-belief, I don't think that's really a phrase, but I'm saying like that first Calgary game, are you like, is it nerves? Is it just like an overwhelming confidence? Like I'm going to go show out. How did that first game kind of feel? And then how did, you kind of subsequently adjust from there for the rest of the season?
So the first game was more like, dang, man, this is a blessing. Like I
Yeah.
was just at home, like, man, what's my next steps in life? Like, what am I gonna do now? Being an athlete my whole life, what is it? What are the things I like? So for me, the first game was just more like, man, I'm blessed to be here. Take advantage of the opportunity. Like, I felt like I prepared really well, as far as knowing what I need to know. Like a lot of people don't know. Somebody went down in that game and I had to play a position that I wasn't like prepped to play. But it was just like, man, I'm gonna take advantage of every opportunity that I get. That was more of my mindset. Like, this is my opportunity. I don't want to go out here and let anybody down. Coach gave me a heads up. GM gave me a heads up. Do your job, and that's all I'm gonna come out here and do. And it was just like, I'm blessed to be here. Like, I'm happy. I didn't really let nerves set in because it was just like, man, I'm here. Like, this is what I wanted. This is what I prayed about, right? This is the things that I dreamed about, like, to play. This was my first ever, like, regular season professional game as well. So it's just like, I'm blessed to be here, man. Like, I'm going to take advantage of that. So that's really what it was for me. That was the feelings, like, you're blessed. Take advantage of it. You're here for a reason. You deserve to be here. If you wasn't, you wouldn't be here because everything happens for a reason. That was just more of my mindset. Then as far as, like, adjusting, it was just like, okay, now I know the plays more, so I can play a little bit more freely without actually thinking. Now I can just,
Right.
react and not go out here and be thinking and stuff like that. So that's just what it was, just adjust. And then, gaining the trust of the quarterback, gaining the trust of the OC. Hey, this guy can make plays. This guy is somebody that we can actually use and not just be a substitute, I just wanted to just prove to them that, hey, I'm somebody you can count on. I'm somebody who you can actually have a game plan for. Like, I'm somebody who can make plays. I'm somebody that, you can actually believe in because I won't let you down. Like, anything you tell me, I'm not going to let you down. And that's just what it was. Just adjust. And again, be a professional. Do your job. Just do your job. That's
Well,
it.
yeah, you talk about, those conversations. Like, did you ever go to Cody and you're like, hey man, like I'm pretty good. Like I'm gonna get open, like get me the ball, like things like that. Do those conversations kind of happen, or is
It
it
was
just is it more organic?
the conversation was more like, hey, Cody, I got you. Like, it was never
Yeah.
like, hey, I'm pretty good. Give me my. It was like, no, hey, I got you. Just know that I got you. I won't let you down. You can come to me, and I'm gonna do what I need to do. I'm gonna be where I need to be. And that's what the conversations was. And Cody being Cody, great guy, great professional. He was
Yeah.
like, I believe in you, and I got you. And he came to me when it was time. He came to me, and I showed up for him. So that's just how it go. You gotta just show up, man. When they give you a chance, you
Yeah.
just gotta show up. But like I said, the conversations was never like, hey, bro, I'm good, man. You need to give me the ball. It was just more like, I got you, Cody. If you need me, I'm here. You know what I'm saying? I didn't want to like push it
Yeah.
on him like, hey, too much. It's just like, at the end of the day, I gotta prove to him and show him that I'm somebody he can count on. I can't just talk about it. I gotta, be about it. Once I start making plays, I can say, I got you, Cody, and he actually like, yeah, he do got me. I'm gonna go to him.
Yeah.
So that's what
Did
it
you
was.
did you have like a play, and maybe it was a catch, maybe it was just like a really clean route where you got the DB turning his hips, maybe it was a block, but did you have something where you were like, okay, like I've arrived, like this is my moment to show like I can be a real force in this league?
Not even like I made a couple plays this year. Again, I came in game 10, but like I still
Yeah.
feel like I haven't showed what I can do, like what I have, just to be honest with you. I did make I would say last game of the season against it was Calgary. At home, I made a
Yeah.
play out and up. They called it incomplete, which is crazy. Like the review, it shows clearly a catch, but You know, I made a great play. Not only that, against SAS, it was like third down. They sent the zero blitz. I ran the snap post and made the play. You know, Cody trusted me to make the play. It was zero. I got to get the ball out, throw it, and I made the play. So it was then I was just like, hey, these guys know they can count on me. You know, in a clutch, third down, we can go to OJ. So that's what it was,
Yeah.
definitely, for sure.
Yeah, well, it's like funny you mentioned that as well, because I remember talking to Austin Mack when he just got signed here. I asked him what his best attribute was, and he was pretty, quick with it. He just said, "I get open," with hard quote, appreciate it. But do you have kind of like one thing you point to and you say this is my best attribute?
My best attribute for me is my hands. Like, I really feel like God blessed me, with a great pair of hands. Like, I can catch any catch on the field. I can adjust to any ball. Like, I really feel like God really blessed me with my hands. So that's my best attribute, honestly. I do everything else pretty well, but like something that just like, wow, like that's God given, I think is my hands.
Do you have a favorite route to run when you're going through the route tree?
A favorite route. I like to go deep. post route,
Everyone
go
loves
route.
to run a 9, man. Everyone loves to run a 9.
Yeah, definitely. I like to go deep, but I don't really have a favorite, man. I feel like, again, I like to pride myself on being able to run every route in the route tree. This when I got to Edmonton, I ran a lot of curl routes, a lot of stop routes, a lot of curl routes.
Yeah.
And I feel like, again, if you can run a curl, I think you're a pretty good route runner. So that's one of the routes that, I feel like I'm pretty good at, and I learned to run pretty well, because you got to be able to start and stop, and you got to run them down the field. So I do feel like, I always like to go deep, but as far as just being able to show my route running ability, I like to run curls and comebacks and stuff like that, definitely.
Who's the toughest corner to go up against in the league?
The toughest corner to go up against. I go against Ford all the time in practice, man. Ford's a pretty great field corner, man. He's a pretty good.
It's honestly true. Like it's kind of a boring answer. Like I think sometimes people view it as a cop-out when you say, your teammate in practice. But when you got a guy like Terrell there locking down the field, like
he knows it well. He knows that field well.
Answer.
He sees certain things. He's like, okay, this is coming. He's a vet.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, he's a vet. He's really smart. So like me going against him in practice, and I was at the field most of the time. Like he knows the field pretty well. He know this route combination, that route combination. It's kind of hard to fool him, Because again, he's smart. He knows it. So like definitely. But being in Hamilton again, it's kind of like you said, a cop out, because I'm talking about the guys that Peters, Jamal Peters, great corner as well. Like great corner, going against him and stuff. So like I said, but definitely Ford, man. I feel like Ford is a great corner. Then I seen him play like when he's playing against other teams. I seen him go and catch the ball, like go and take it. Actually, go and take the ball from the receiver. Like so, he's a pretty all around great cornerback.
Yeah, no, it's a real iron sharpens iron kind of moment. Do you have a best friend on the team, like a guy who, once you got here, kind of reached out to you, or once you were already on the team, like you guys developed a close relationship pretty quickly?
Yeah, as obviously the receiver room, all of us are pretty close in the receiver room.
Yeah.
But like outside the receiver room, honestly, it was Alex Rake.
Okay.
Me and Alex hung out a lot. Okay. First person I ever spoke to that was pretty open arms to me was JJ Ross. Yeah. JJ's a pretty cool guy too, but Alex and JJ was outside of the receiving room. All us receivers though, me, Kayon, Ben, all us, even Tyson, all us pretty close. All us hang around, all us joke. But outside the receiving room, man, me, Alex, and JJ. Alex and JJ actually stayed together as well. And Brock was my roommate at first too. So those guys, those like my best friends on the team outside of like my brothers in the receiving room for sure.
So like I think this is probably the last one for me, and then I'll let you kind of leave it off with a message for Elks Nation. But what were your thoughts of Edmonton as a city, like when you got here? What were did you have a chance to explore? Did you have a chance to kind of get to see some things, like maybe get out to the mountains? I know that's not Edmonton, but close enough. Like what were your thoughts on the actual city of Edmonton here?
I like this. I love the city of Edmonton. I like how the facilities set up, with the rec center and everything. I love the downtown. You got the Oilers, I feel like that makes it great. I love to see like the valleys, the bridges, and then you see the valley. Me and a couple of guys, Silas, Plum, we go fishing together. So again, those my best friends too. Like we go fishing together. So I love Edmonton, man. Like I like it as a city. We went out like 30 minutes away from the city, went to the river. Fish, and then you got downtown, then you got the valleys. I feel like Edmonton has something to offer for everybody. And some of my teammates, they stayed in high rises downtown. Like it's something to do for everybody, man. I
Yeah.
haven't been yet to, able to explore the mountains, but that's definitely something I want to, just be able to do. But as a whole, I think Edmonton is an A+ city for me. Like,
What about the Canadian weather? What's kind of your reaction to that? Like
um,
being from South Florida, man. It's not like you're coming from Ohio or like South Dakota or something like
yeah.
that. Like you're
So
coming from South Florida.
the biggest adjustment was in May. It's cold.
Yeah.
Like, for me, you used to May being hot, but May was cold. That was kind of like, whoa. That was kind of like, whoa. Obviously, knowing you up north, late October or whatever, it starts to get cold, but it was a little cold early October. So, like,
Yeah.
wow, just, being able to try to prepare for the cold a little bit earlier. But the biggest weather, like, adjustment was May. May is cold. And it'll be cold days. That was very crazy to me, very shocking to me. Like, dang, I'm not used to this at all, especially in May.
Yeah.
It's really hot here in May, but up there it's cold. It's
When you
cold.
came, did you come with like a jacket,
No,
like big jacket? No.
no, I did not come with any coat at all. I had straight hoodies, and it was not enough. But I had to layer up. But now I know, right? When you know better, you do better. So I'll definitely be prepared this time for sure.
So you're back home and you're running receiver camps down there. Is it back in Belgrade?
No, Palm Beach, West Palm Beach.
Okay.
Yep,
Okay.
just
How's that going?
it's going great, man. Training some guys. So my third grade teacher, I started just training her kids, and then basically his whole team, they play on the flag football league or whatever. Their whole team started coming out. So, just being able to give back. One of the things I always want to do is just give back, let kids learn this knowledge. Some of the things I didn't learn until I became pro. Some, you know what I'm saying? Just being able to give them that so young. And if they just take it in, they'll be way better than me. And I just, I'm big on faith, and it's all about, advancing the next people. Again, when I was talking about my parents, they just want me to be better than them. So anybody I come in contact with that I can teach anything or whatever the case may be, I just try to give them everything that I know. Because at the end of the day, you'll be a blessing to them. Then you get blessed, right? So again, I'm thankful for like I was talking about the guys who went before me. I was thankful for guys like Deontay Thompson. I trained with him. He showed me a lot of things. Some things he showed me as far as working out, I still do to this day. Like at the end of the day, that's what life is about. Taking different things you learn from different places, putting it all together for what works for you, and then building from that and doing the same thing for the younger kids. So it's a blessing, man, just being able to give back, help kids get better at their craft, help myself get better at teaching, help myself be able to learn that, different guys got different attributes, different guys do different things good, so you got to explain things differently. So everything's just been good, man. Really just blessed, walking in the prayer, honestly.
100%, man. Well, man, listen, OJ, this has been awesome. We really appreciate your time. Is there kind of a message you want to finish off with, leave Elks Nation with?
We're gonna be better than ever. Honestly, we're gonna start out faster, honestly. And y'all really ain't seen nothing yet, man. We finna turn it up a notch, definitely. Coach Killam, great coach. Everybody up under him, great. I love the whole coaching staff. They're doing a really great job of preparing us and getting us better. So, everything's gonna be great.
Well, OJ, like I said, man, this has been awesome. Really, really appreciate the time. Looking forward to watching next season. God bless, man, and take care for the rest of the offseason.
Thank you, man. Appreciate you having me.
Appreciate you, man. That was OJ Hilaire, Edmonton Elks wide receiver. Rick, if you had to, well, first of all, I always got to ask, man, is there something I missed? Like, because I always think, am I missing a really obvious question that I didn't have a chance to ask? Were you sitting there thinking like, this guy's got to ask this, and I just didn't get to it?
I don't think you miss anything. You go so deep in terms of the beginning of their careers to their college, and then the majority of them love to speak some college, right? And that's right up your alley. So you have a nice little conversation like that and bring it into the league. No, I think you do a pretty good job here.
All right. I know. I appreciate that. I'm always just wondering if you're sitting there like trying to signal me or something. I'm like looking over like, what? So is this a fire drill? Like, what do you mean? I gotta get over here. No, but if you had to predict his stat line next season, what do you think it would be? Because it's a much different receiver room. Like you got Kaon, who obviously had a lot of chemistry with Cody last year. There's no Curly, there's no Steven. Austin Mack comes in, but OJ's probably, him and Benjamin Victor were probably the two guys who kind of emerged most, if you want to say, last season. So if you were to, kind of put a number on his stat line, what do you think it might be?
Well, yeah, I'm looking right now. Anybody 8 games last year, 32 receptions. So that's 4 a game, 43 targets. So 5 a game. Honestly, I kind of see it right along there, right? 4 to 5 catches per game. Probably 10, 12 yards per catch type of situation. Yeah. There's going to be a lot of different opportunities to throw the ball to. And I'm hoping that we aren't exactly in a situation where we have to throw the ball as often as we have in the past.
I agree.
So maybe there's some running the ball time where, he's 3 catches that game. Well, we won 34 7. So yeah, it's fine.
Dude, the thing is, like after we talk to these guys, I get like so invested in like wanting them to succeed. So I'm like, dude, like I was gonna get to a point where we're gonna like the Elks are gonna win a game 41-7, and OJ is gonna have like 2 catches for 15 yards, and I'm gonna be like, I didn't like it. Not good enough.
All these guys are going to step up in a game against the Riders, and you're going to be really, really confused at that point.
Yeah, no, it's dude. The allegiances are going to be so twisted. I'm not gonna know what to do. If you had to give OJ, and it's kind of a weird one off the top of your head, so if you don't have an answer, don't worry. But if you had to give him an Oilers comparable, who would it be?
Just, you know what? Maybe I don't know if he has exactly the touchdowns to do it, but we're talking like a mid-season acquisition.
Were you gonna say Roslovich?
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. That's crazy. They both kind of have a little bit of flair and flash to them.
Yeah.
Right? Kind of thing.
Yeah,
like
some offensive flair there.
Yeah, like a little bit of offensive swag kind of deal. Yeah.
And not being like the top line guy, right?
Yeah.
Like neither one's the first line or number 1 receiver. So you're the depth there, right? You're the middle 6, if you will, for forwards, receiver 3, 4, 5 somewhere in there. So yeah, I could see a nice little comparison to Roslovic.
Yeah, I like that one a lot. Like I think that was I think that for not having been prepped that question, just getting asked on a whim, I think you hit that one out of the park. But it is funny, like talking to all these guys, we're gonna end up going through like all the receivers, and I'm gonna be like mad when they don't all have like 1,200 yard, 10 touchdown seasons.
Pissed off.
Like like really, oh yeah, someone actually. It's gonna get to a point where like Austin Mack, the new acquisition, he's the only one we haven't talked to, so he only has like 300 yards on the season, and we're like, yeah. That we're cool with that.
I feel bad for Cody when he comes on at the end of the season. You start grilling him on how he didn't get the ball.
How he didn't get the ball to my favorite players.
Like, what are you doing, man? Come on.
Yeah.
What they bring you here for?
It's like like JJ Ross's interception number is down. It's like, well, you weren't throwing it to him in practice. He didn't have any touch.
Yeah, iron sharpens iron, right?
Man. What do you have on tap for this weekend?
Me, buddy, it's just the normal. I got a bunch of work ahead of me, so who knows what the weather's bringing us.
Yeah.
But I feel like people need to get out in the world again, get out to the nightclubs and whatnot, get out and have a little nightlife. So yeah, hopefully it's a good night.
Yeah, no, for sure, man. I mean, I don't think I really have too much more to add. Obviously, I don't like no Elks news has dropped that I missed, right? Because that always is a possibility.
Yeah, definitely not today.
Yeah, I'm not because what's actually funny? I'm not on for whatever reason. I'm not on like the media advisory emails for the Elks. Like,
really?
Well, it's crazy because like I think everyone else, or at least like a good majority at Sports 1440 are.
Yeah.
And I've talked to the communications director about it because it's funny. I asked him, I think I've asked him twice now, but the last time I asked him, it was like in a 2-part question and he only answered the first part of it and didn't address me getting on the email. So so that's why there's always a possibility I missed some crazy breaking news. Like,
they don't want to tell you anything.
Cody Fajardo has his foot amputated. We'll never play football again. And then all of a sudden just sitting here like doing an entire podcast missing that information.
We don't bring it up once.
Yeah, exactly. Right. So that's always a fear. But I think we probably got it all covered. That was a great interview. Really, really enjoyed talking to him. Is there anything you want to leave us off with?
No, man. I think you nailed it here. We'll be back Monday, and I think Eddie's back on Friday, right?
Yeah, dope. So another one. It'll be just me and you on Monday. That'll be awesome. We'll go through some things, talk all things Elks. I'm sure we'll
find some news this weekend.
Yeah. I'm sure we'll talk a little, sporting world, pop culture as well, whatever it may be. But no, this has been awesome. Thank you guys so much for listening. Really appreciate it. Shout out OJ Hilaire. Hoping to get Tyrell Ford next week or the week after that here in studio. And God bless. Love you guys.